Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hello, everybody. On this episode of Don't Blame Me, we have the fantastic and wonderful advice giver, Gaby Dunn. And one of the things that we talk about in this is a couple who's trying to have a baby, but it kind of sounds like one of them isn't as ready, and there's fertility doctors involved. It's a mature question. And we also talk about a girl who met a guy at college orientation, seemed like he was great, and he sent her a playlist that was personalized for her, which personally I thought was pretty cringy. Turns out, surprise, surprise, he sent it to another girl. So should she get over him? Our advice is definitely yes, but you have to keep listening because he sounds like a shitbag. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Blame Me. Today, our fabulous guest, who's so well dressed, is Gaby Dunn.
Thank you so much. This is all my girlfriend.
It's really
this
cute.
This is all, she's in fashion, and this is she picked this.
It's a fashion outfit.
Thank you so much.
And the glasses are fashion too, though. Are these new glasses?
Yeah, I had red ones when we last saw each other. Yeah.
I like these on you.
Thank you so much.
They're really cute.
I like to go, if I had worn red, we would have matched though.
Oh, yeah.
But I like to go just like thick, colorful with the glasses.
Well, you must have very straight ears too, because I can't do straight across glasses because my ears aren't at the same place on my head, so they're always tilted.
How'd you find that out?
Trying on a bunch of straight pairs of sunglasses, and then I went up to Lady at Nordstrom. I'm like, these aren't straight. And then she's like, no, these are straight. I just don't think your ears are straight.
Wow,
You're not symmetrical. They're not. Yeah, they're not symmetrical. So I have to wear round sunglasses so it's less obvious. And I have to get like my sunglasses adjusted so they're straight on me, even though they're not straight on other people.
God bless that lady at Nordstrom for telling you the truth.
I tell you the truth.
And two, like, then no one can steal your sunglasses because they put them on and they're like, what crooked faced person belongs to these?
My best friend and I have the same pair of sunglasses, and I was convinced for so long that they were different because she's just so much smaller than me and has a smaller head. Mm-hmm. So they look way bigger on her. And I was like, no, yours are bigger. And she tried mine on. It's like, ooh. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I have a very large head.
I do too.
Yeah.
I have a big noggin.
Allison says that large head means you're photogenic.
Really? I don't feel photogenic.
I don't know if that's true. It's just a thing that she said to me.
I'll take it.
Yeah. And then she has a little tiny head, and then my girlfriend has a small head too. So everything that's mine looks ridiculous on her face. Like all glasses look
funny.
Like it looks like she's doing some sort of like bit.
Oh yeah, like did you ever watch who's the lady that laid on the ground and pretended to be a clock?
What?
10-second tidy. Luna and Molly, a clown and her dolly, the big comfy couch. Yes, big comfy couch. She was this woman who just had these like, they were like comically large, like they're like photo booth glasses that you'd have like at a bat mitzvah where you're like taking pictures and they're the big plastic ones. Yeah, she wore
Wait, how old are you?
25 now.
Oh, okay. See, I missed big comfy couch.
I also, for some reason, don't think it was an American show.
It was.
Was it?
It
I think it was
was.
Canadian. I think it was like one of those
include that to be America too.
we wishfully we wish. Don't group Canada with us. They're so much better.
I want to though.
I do too, but I also don't want to bring them down.
Our American president, Justin Trudeau.
Yes.
In my mind.
Only
Yes,
the best
yes.
for my president.
Yes. Very beautiful.
Okay, guys, this is Don't Blame Me podcast. It's an advice podcast. Melissa and I are here.
Hello.
Gabby's here too, but we already said that. Can we talk about your shirt for a second?
Yes.
Amazing.
Are you menstruating?
Yes, I am.
Why are we
That's
synced
so
up?
great.
I don't know. We should be synced
We
up
should
by
be
now.
synced up.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a shirt from a company that organization that I volunteer with called Happy Period, where we collect menstrual supplies for homeless women and then go deliver
it's
to
so
them.
important.
Yeah.
I saw Candace's story on that the other day.
Yeah.
Very cute. And if you care about my shirt, we're also in the feminist thing. Mine says girls support girls. And it's available on my shop if you want to go. Shopmarty.com, guys.
Oh,
Get my
that's
shirt,
so
match me.
cute. That's really cute.
I support
Isn't
you.
it? Thanks. I support you guys.
Thank you.
And speaking of supporting, wow, that's the first time any of my segues have ever worked. We're going to be giving you guys advice. So we've got voicemails to listen to, and you guys called in to the number 310-694-0976. And all of our international listeners, if you want advice from us, email us with an audio file at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. And we're going to give some advice. And you're going to be really great at this.
I hope so.
Hi, Megan. I'm from San Diego. I'm 25 years old, and I've been dating this guy for about 4.5 months now. It all started and moved very quickly in our relationship. Pretty much after about 2 months, he asked me to move in with him, and I said I didn't feel comfortable doing that so fast. That made him really upset, and he told me that if our connection really was that strong, then I would move in with him. That caused a fight, one of many, and I ended up moving in with him. He said from the beginning, though, and he always kept saying that I didn't have to pay rent or bills. He would never let me clean up because he always said that I was his princess. Lately, he had been acting extra annoyed by me. He keeps telling me that he doesn't like the way I talk. He doesn't like what I do. He wants me to stop doing stuff that I love doing by myself. He wants me to stop talking the way I talk because he says it's not classy, etc. Today we had a big fight, again, one of many, where I told him that he was being an asshole, and he got really upset and started rubbing in my face that he's the one that pays for everything and that I don't do anything. I got really upset, so I left, and I told him that I didn't want to be there with him anymore. We were supposed to go to a concert together tomorrow, but he said today that if I left, he would take another girl to the concert. That obviously made me really upset, but I still left. And now he keeps texting me very angry messages and making me feel super guilty. I guess my question is, if you have any advice on how to get over it, or how to get out of the situation and cut him off from my life completely, I would really appreciate it.
Okay.
Well, first of all, you already know what you have to do, which is cut him out of your life completely.
Mm-hmm.
This person is abusive.
Yeah.
There is something called financial abuse. There's a writer named Paulette Parrich who talks about how women should have a F-off fund.
Oh, yeah,
meaning if you need to have an amount of money to be able to move out of an abusive household, to leave a job where you're being sexually harassed, to treat any sort of like if you are, assaulted or whatever, like you need to have money for that, which sucks. But you gotta get out of there. You gotta move out immediately. You gotta block numbers. You gotta just sever ties. Like any guilt that you feel is you being gaslit, which is part of abuse. And this person is bad news bears.
Yeah. And I think your gut told you from the beginning. And I think there's probably a part of you that is upset with yourself for not recognizing that early. And you just need to drop that, because emotional and physical abusers in general are the most charming, manipulative people in the world. So there really wasn't a way that, even though your gut told you that something was off with this, he's going to charm you into doing that kind of stuff. So I would try and, as much as you can, take any of the guilt out of this, because you didn't put yourself in the situation. Like he sought you out and preyed on somebody who like he knows how to manipulate people.
Right.
And I think you need to first and foremost talk to and like friends, family, like get a support system around you and devise a plan.
Yes. And let people know what's going on, screenshot all the texts, save everything. Because if you want to get a restraining order, you're going to need evidence and witnesses. And
and then have a place set up a place to stay and talk. I think the more honest you are with the people in your life, the more you're going to find that this is sadly super common, and that women especially are always there to help out other women who are in these situations. If you I listened to Dax Shepard's podcast and he had his mom on, and it's a great episode if anybody ever wants to listen to it. It's like very like heartbreaking, but also really inspiring because she's just like, she talks about these like very sad, rough things that happen in her life, but she talks about them with just like, just so black and white. And like, you're like, wow, you are so strong. And she talks about how she was in a physically and emotionally abusive relationship. And a woman came up to her at work one day who she really never talked to and basically just said, hey, by the way, you live in our neighborhood and I just want to let you know, I'm just giving you a set of keys to our house. If you ever like if you or your kids ever need a place to stay or like come hang out and like be there. And she said she was like petrified because she's like had never really talked to this woman and didn't know that this like had never told this woman that she was in an abusive relationship. And she just said the woman just knew. And like then when times got really bad, she took her up on that and that woman was like there for her. So I think putting any of that embarrassment aside and really just being honest with everybody because you got to devise a plan because he's going to exactly what you're saying, like gaslight you and manipulate you into feeling guilty and feeling like you owe him these things.
You don't owe him anything.
You don't owe him shit, like at all.
At all.
And so I think like you got to stay with a family member or someone who can be there with you.
And don't be embarrassed. Like say, sometimes it's you feel embarrassed because you're like, oh, this person's doing all these things. And for some reason you feel embarrassed. Yeah. But he should be embarrassed. Oh, he won't be because he's probably a sociopath. Yeah. But he should. And so like, it's not anything about you.
No. And as much as he's telling you that's the biggest issue is like that when people tell you that what things that you've done have made them react a certain way. And that's not true. Nothing that he's doing is because of something that you've said or done.
Absolutely. He would be doing it anyway.
Yeah. He was going to find a way to do these things anyway. So just devising a plan, staying with somebody else while this all happens, keeping all of the receipts of everything and making sure that don't feel crazy, take extra precautions. If you don't feel there's a really like thin line between emotional abuse and physical abuse.
Absolutely. I was going to say, don't tell him where you are. No. Don't post where you are.
And don't let your friends
everything just in case you need to go to the cops.
I would with automatically when you go to where you are not tell anyone anything. So so when you get a restraining order from somebody who's done that, you have to have it on police record that you have like you have to have your first call in. So you've had your first call where they know, so they can like kind of track that. And then the only time that they're going to follow through with the restraining order is if that person has come onto your property. Right. But if you can give them the name and all the information beforehand, if anything, God forbid anything did happen, that's already in the system there. Yeah. And it's already helping like protect you. And
start a paper trail.
Yeah, exactly. Like give it. So like as the steps go on, you've covered all of your bases and you need to be on the same page with everybody who you talk to this about, like with your family, like nobody's going to be talking to him. Right. Tell them everything. Don't try and, especially when it comes to parents and stuff, I think people feel like they don't want to hurt their families more and be like, well, I don't want them to know all of these things.
Yeah, but you
got to tell them everything because they're only going to be able to react accordingly and help you the best that they can when they know everything.
Absolutely.
And yeah, you have to delete them from everything. But I think you have to sit down with if you have a therapist, but if you've got like your parents or friends or whatever and be like, okay, so this is what's happening. This is what
I'm going to do.
Yeah. I'm going to tell him over, don't tell him in person, tell him over text message. And then from there, you're going to delete his number. You're going to block him on all social media. Your friends and family, if any of them are with him on social media, they should also do the same. And same thing with blocking the numbers. And then you have a call into the police and just let them know that you were in an emotionally abusive relationship and you're a little
afraid of the person.
Yeah. And let them know where you were staying and let them know like his name, his address, the make and model of his car. And then keep everybody in your family in loops and stuff. And then not to be paranoid, but like when I broke up with like an emotionally abusive ex-boyfriend, I either slept at my friend's house every night or one of my friends slept at my house every single night until like I was no longer absolutely terrified. Yeah. And I told my building manager where I lived, being like, hey, him and I broke up and I'm like scared shitless of him. And so he's like, great, cool. Our security guard knows, like everyone here knows, like he's not going to be allowed into the building by any, like at all. And so is that for me, like, obviously it's like, you feel awkward saying this to like,
of course, yeah.
Like the guy who like works at security at your apartment.
I watch enough,
it's worth it.
Yeah. I watch enough true crime to know that like we are often as women gaslit into thinking that we're overreacting. And then the person gets murdered and then they're like, why didn't she do anything?
Yeah. If you listen to My Favorite Murder, fuck politeness.
Exactly. Fuck politeness.
Fuck politeness.
Exactly.
Yeah. Your intuition's always
correct. Yeah. Your gut is right.
Especially with women too, because like there's just a sense of uneasiness of like, you're like, I don't know, like goosebumps and like you're like skin crawling.
You have intuition.
Yeah, because it's like that predator complex. And that's not something that a lot of men have.
I'm glad that this call didn't end with you being like, so should I break up with him? Like, I'm glad you already know.
Yeah. Which is, I think, is always the hardest thing to kind of
for sure
get over that. Yeah. But best of luck. You're going to get out this.
You're
going to
be fine.
Yeah.
You're going to be great. You already know.
Yeah. You got this. On to the next call.
Hi, Megan, Mel, and possible guests. I'm 22, and I met this girl on a dating app, and I can't tell if she actually likes me back or not. Conversation started really slow, but for now, like a month and a half, we've texted nonstop. Once I got her number, we text every morning to every night. But I know she comes from a difficult past. She was in a very long relationship, like over 5 years, starting at the age of 15. And the girl ended up cheating on her. And she has a really hard time trusting people, and she's very shy. So sometimes she'll act like she's into me and like go along with it, but I've never met her. We've only known each other for a short time. I know she's a real person. I have her Facebook and stuff like that, but she won't even call me because she's so shy, and I can't tell if she's into me or not, or if she's just really shy, or if it's something to do with her past and how long she was with the ex. She does talk about her ex sometimes, but not a lot. I don't think she is caught up on the ex. But I don't know. I just kind of want advice on what I should do and if I should continue trying for it or if I should not. She did text me the other day when I admitted that I had feelings for her, and she said that she just thought that was okay, and then did not say anything else. And then I said I was trying to understand what she was saying, and she's like, why am I hard to understand? And I said, yeah, but it kind of came off a little flirty, so like, I don't know if that's a flirt technique or what, but yeah, if I could just get some advice.
Fuck, I'm afraid she's getting catfished.
Yeah. Yeah. Because why would you be on a dating app if you're not looking to date?
Oh, so, I mean, I think that to me sounds, I would be on a dating app if I've been on ones before when I was like, I have really no intention of actually talking to anybody, like to like going out on dates,
talking
just
to anyone.
flirt.
But if you're talking to them all the time,
yeah, that to me sounds like either she's in a relationship,
yeah, she's cheating on someone, or I just think if it's
she's not who she says she is.
If it's not moving forward in a like reality type of way, and you both live in the same city, then I think you got to cut your losses.
Well, because it doesn't sound like somebody who wants to be in a relationship. It sounds like they're going to be happy with what's happening, and you're clearly and rightfully so not into just having a text relationship.
Yeah, there's so many other people that could actually like give you a full, well-rounded relationship that you should look for that rather than, because I get it. Like sometimes I've dated or like casually dated people where I'm like, the majority of our relationship is the fun of texting.
Yeah.
And that's great. But like it gets hard when you mistake that for actual connection.
Oh, totally.
And that so easily can happen nowadays. Like you can be like, oh yeah, we're like dating. But then you're like, wait, I only see them like once every 3 weeks. And it's like, but we talk every day. Yeah. And it's like, do you?
Well, that was my boyfriend and I before we started dating. I wasn't dating anybody because like we were just flirty friends.
Yeah.
And so like that part of my mind felt like that was occupied. Like it felt like that was being satiated. But I'm like, but no, we're not actually dating. We're just friends and we text and we flirt a lot. So you're occupying the time that I could be using to like text some guy or like meet somebody that I was actually into.
And it's safe though. It's safe
so
because think about it.
safe.
You don't have to, there's no risk of anything physical happening. You're not really giving yourself up vulnerably that way. You can't get an STD from texting thus far.
You can't get emotionally hurt.
Like there's basically nothing that can happen. It's just almost like a video game.
Exactly. And I'm definitely guilty of
me too.
doing that. But I think that as much as if her past was really plaguing her that much, I think it's not fair for her to be and be on a dating app without saying like, just here looking for friends or not looking for anything serious.
Just looking to text flirt.
Yeah.
Why don't people just say that?
I don't know. My friends have literally done this have been in this situation where they're like, this person just never has any desire to meet and they just want to like text and talk all the time. I was like, they just need a fucking friend. Like,
And we're all like, I think a lot of people are very socially awkward. And so they use that as an excuse to like never hang out. But the thing is, even with friends, you have to like make the effort to make plans. Like it was so foreign to me, but I had to really be like, at this restaurant, at this time, we will hang out faces.
Yeah.
And like, so I think like if you're not doing that, if that's not moving towards that, I don't think you should occupy, like you said, that part of your brain, because then maybe there's someone in your real, like this is what I pictured. It's such a rom-com. Like this is happening.
I fully pictured the exact same thing.
At this girl's work, there's like another girl who's like madly in love with her,
after her.
and she won't even see it because she's too blocked by this texting situation.
Yeah. No, I am fully feel that.
Your barista's in love with you and you don't even notice.
You can't,
you're face down in your phone.
Oh, it's so heartbreaking. I love this movie.
Sell it to Netflix.
Yes. The kissing booth part 2.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I think also I found that the people who are most likely, especially on dating apps, wanting a relationship are the people who want to meet up with you super quickly after. They don't want to text.
Hey, what's up? Hey, we swiped right on each other. Do you want to get drinks?
Yeah. And that's always what like propels it along. And even my friends who are still on dating apps say that. And the people who just want to talk, it never goes anywhere because then you get comfortable with like, oh, this person I've created here. What if this person doesn't live up to me in real life? And then there's that fear of that. So even then they just get in over their heads. But
which if you want to just have a text, sometimes you're busy and it's like, this was great. This is a great situation. I want to just have a text flirtation, or there are people in my life that I'm like, we just like have like texty fun times or whatever. But then like, it's not going to be like the same type of friendship as someone I see all the time.
Yeah.
So like if that's, it doesn't sound like that's fine with this person though. And if it's not, then you got to go.
And it's so okay for it not to be fine.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's not, you can enjoy, and you can also enjoy text flirting with somebody and enjoy that. But if they're not looking for the same thing as you, like you're just going to end up hurt.
You're going to get hurt for sure.
It's not going to be fun. And also she might be catfishing you.
Catfished. I was just thinking that.
She might be.
She's getting catfished.
Yeah. Or either she's getting catfished or the girl's in a relationship with somebody else.
Yeah. She might. Yeah, she very well could be cheating.
Yeah.
Which is rough.
And then the argument of like, is emotional cheating a real thing?
But think about this. She says that the girl cheated on her. What a good twist. If she was like,
this is a good
I was with this girl for 5 years. She cheated on me. I'm devastated. I'm the victim. Cut to, she's still with that girlfriend. Yeah. And she's the one cheating.
Or maybe the girl actually did cheat and now she's getting the pay. Like she feels like she wants to get an emotional relationship.
Buy it for Netflix.
Yeah.
Buy me and Megan Ranks.
Yeah.
Don't
Guys,
cut me out of this.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And executive producer Melissa.
Yeah. Get out while you can. I mean, not while you can. You can't get out at any time.
At any time.
Just
anyone can leave anyone at any time.
Any fucking time.
Isn't that freeing?
It's honestly,
but also terrifying.
Exactly how I feel. Being like, that's comforting, but also, what if it's not me that chooses to leave?
Like when people are like, "Oh, but they have kids," I'm like, "You can leave whenever."
Literally, you can,
and anybody could leave me at any time.
Anytime.
I went through a breakup, and like people were, and I was really sad because I really liked him, and people were like, "Oh my god, you've been together for 2 years. Like, how could you leave?" And I was like. And I like crying, but I was like, honestly, anyone can leave anyone at any time. It's like within his rights.
Oh, should we go on to the next?
Hi, Megan. I'm 18. I'm from Alberta, Canada, and I was just looking for some advice about the most cacophonous past couple months of my life. So I had been dating this guy, and we were totally in love, and it was going great. And then about like 2 months in, I had this like horrible week-long anxiety attack. I was bawling my eyes on my kitchen floor every day, like taking Ativan like it was fucking blueberries. And just like my dad had taken a week off work to come watch me. It was horrible. And then I started going to therapy and I started getting better. And then this whole like time I was having this anxiety attack, my boyfriend wasn't really talking to me just because like I think he thought I needed space and like we really did love each other. So like I understand, and he's probably like worried and he was working and shit. But this last day of this anxiety attack, he broke up with me over text. No, he dumped me over text because he's an ass. And then the morning after, he slept with this girl that he'd been talking to before we started dating. And, yeah, so she's my best friend's ex. And it's such a mess, but he really doesn't like her, and he doesn't want to keep sleeping with her, and she really likes him and knows he doesn't like her, so she wants to stop sleeping with him, but they don't communicate these things to each other. And it's getting so messy, and me and my ex are still sleeping together, and like we're like in the most juvenile way, trust me, I know we're still sleeping together, and I don't know why it's happening, but whatever. And we're still friends, and I was looking to see if you think that I should like say something to them, that like this girl's gonna get her feelings hurt and Mike's gonna give us both syphilis, so like maybe something should fucking get sorted out. I'm just looking for advice. Please help me. I don't know what to do. Thanks.
First of all, you're 18.
You're
beautiful.
So confused.
I'm sure that you're beautiful. Hear me out. You're 18. You're beautiful. You're never going to look better than you do right now. Get rid of this dude.
Maybe.
Get rid of this
I got a
dude.
nose job later on. So I'm like, I definitely look better than I did at 18.
That's probably true.
You've got some good years left in you.
You have great years. What I'm saying is, I'm like 30. I'm like, look, you're out to pasture. No, okay. So you're beautiful. You're 18. You're never going to look better than you look right now. Fuck this dude. Get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be friends with him. Who cares?
Yeah.
This girl also presumably can make her own decisions.
Yeah.
You're not in charge of her. I understand girls supporting girls.
Yes.
And I'm glad you're not like, that girl's a hoe. But exclude yourself from the narrative. Remove yourself from the narrative. Also, that anxiety attack shit happens to me all the time. Happened to me to the point, same, my dad had to come and like take care of me. 2012, what a year. And so like if someone's not going to support you through that, like obviously you're very mature, right? You're like, he didn't have to be there for me. Like he was busy. He had his own life. That's mature of you to think. Instead of being like, I need to be codependent with this boyfriend.
No, but he should have wanted to be there.
He should have wanted to be there. He behaved poorly. You don't have to cut him any slack.
No.
And he broke up with her right after.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't have to look out for him or for the other girl. Like you're acting like you're their mom.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in charge of everyone, which is like very stressful for you at this point. Like take care of yourself.
Yeah. And I'd say we talk about this a lot of being like, I'm all for girls supporting girls, but the only time in which I think that it's okay to kind of tell someone something is if you don't gain anything from the situation.
Right.
But you gain like this is a vindictive thing. Like as much as like you like as much as like there's a part of you that wants to protect this girl, it's because there's like I've dated guys who like have been absolute shit and they go on to date other girls and I'm like, I want to warn them. And then I'm like, well, I want to warn them because I don't want this relationship to work out because I don't want this to be, it was just me that didn't work out.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be
Yeah.
Not saying that there's any blame on you or whatever, but like some people's relationships, like how he treats you might not be how he treats her.
Yeah. Unless he like punched you in the face.
No. And that's definitely
that's
any
different.
abuse stuff. 100%. And also if this is real syphilis, I feel like that might be a thing. But like also like I just want to
take some antibiotics just in case.
I'm also really confused about who's sleeping with who. Okay, she's sleeping with her ex.
She's still sleeping with the ex.
Okay, so I got that.
Again,
who
you're
are the
18.
other people?
You're beautiful. Sleep with someone else.
But who are the other people that are having sex now?
So
her friend's ex-girlfriend and her ex-boyfriend. So there's a love triangle.
Okay, so her best friend is not getting any.
He's alone. She's alone.
No, she's fucking up.
No. We don't know if the best friend is a guy or girl, and the ex is like bisexual, or if it's like, you know what I mean? We don't know if the friend her friend is anybody.
Could be anyone.
Yeah.
But so that person's alone. That person's
We
not
don't
getting
know.
any.
They might be getting something.
But they're not in this circle.
Not in
okay,
this.
because in my head, I thought her best friend is still hooking up with his or her ex.
No.
Okay, no.
That person has done the right thing.
Yeah.
They're at a Buffalo Wild Wings having a time of their life.
Like them. Be like your friends.
Go hang out with your friend.
Yeah, go hang with your fucking friends. Stop having sex with your ex.
You and your friend leave.
Go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Go to Buffalo Wild
Do
Wings.
they have that in Canada?
I don't know. I just love saying it because my friend and I have a joke that it's our favorite straight bar. It's Buffalo Wild Wings. Do you want to go to the best straight bar in LA? Buffalo Wild
R.I.P. to
Wings.
Hooters.
Right. So we're like, have you ever, so just go with your friend to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Ignore all texts and calls from these other two people.
Yeah,
Let them live their dreams.
It's just too exhausting. And I remember being like 19 and a part of it. Like my ex-boyfriend we broke up the week before prom, and the guy who ended up asking me to prom, I went with him because my ex-boyfriend hated him because he was also like,
oh, for sure,
always flirted with me and be like, "Meg, you look really hot today."
Yeah.
My boyfriend at the time was like, "The fuck, dude!" Like right here.
Look at that.
Yeah, and so
pre-nose job.
100%. Yeah,
Crushing it,
crushing it. It was a small school. But so the guy who asked me to prom, him and I ended up like getting together, and then my ex-boyfriend got with my prom date's ex-girlfriend.
Of course.
And so it was like this whole switcheroo thing.
I've seen the OC.
Oh God. And I remember spending so much time just being like so emotionally invested in their relationship that like, it's just so much wasted time that I then went on to college, and I was like, I just all this like pent up feelings. And I go to freshman year of college. I'm like, oh, I have so much other shit to deal with now.
Who cares? Yeah. Also, your mental health is incapacitated. You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You got to recover from this anxiety attack. I mean, I spent a lot of time, like I had a very bad anxiety attack in 2008, and then I had another one in 2012, and then another in 2016. And the reason it happened every 4 years on the presidential election cycle is because I never took care of it the first time around.
Yeah.
I would get distracted by other things. And you're doing that right now. You're distracting yourself with this relationship drama. And what you should be doing is going to yoga and taking medication and seeing a therapist and just like, taking sound baths and like doing stuff that will like make your mental health better.
And self-care doesn't have to be like emotionally treacherous all the time. And I think there's like, I always find if I'm dealing with something really shitty, that I want anything that makes me happy. And I can sometimes I will mistaken things that make me stop thinking about it for things that make me happy.
This ex-boyfriend is not medicine.
No.
Stop sleeping with him.
He's not making you feel better. He's making you not think about it, but that's not helping it. Like that's not helping the problem. And there's other things that like you don't have to like spend every single day in therapy crying and like working through this. You can like do little things that make you happy that don't hurt you. Also,
go hiking.
Yeah, like
see a movie.
Yeah, go
take a shower,
swim, take a bath,
get a pet rabbit,
100%. Get a dog, hang out with your friends, go on a road trip. Like there are so many things that will like help you that will also make you forget, that will also help heal you, but that won't hurt you in the long run. Which
not even forget. Start a journal.
Yeah,
paint.
Write it all down.
Yeah. If you're gonna like meet up with the ex-boyfriend to have sex with him, instead text your other friend and go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Just I don't work for Buffalo Wild Wings at all.
Just go somewhere if they have a rewards card. They should
Tim
do
Hortons. That's Canadian.
Yeah.
You ever been to a Tim Hortons collar? Go there.
I'm sure she has. Or get some poutine.
Go get some poutine.
Yeah. And live your best life and focus on yourself.
Pet a moose.
Yeah, pet multiple mooses. No.
Canada.
Meese? How many moose? Meese. Is that the plural of moose?
Yeah.
Or is moose the plural?
See, these are the types of things you could think about instead of having sex with your ex-boyfriend.
The options are endless. Do you know how many episodes of this podcast we have? You could watch them all.
Oh my God. Watch this.
Yep.
Listen to my podcast.
Yes.
It's called Bad with Money.
Dude, you have so much hours of content.
Yeah. Between the two of us.
So much. And masturbate.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This was helpful.
I hope so. Okay, guys, we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back. This episode of Don't Blame Me is brought to you by me promoting us on iTunes. I'm a hoe for iTunes. Aren't we all? So guys, I love when you guys leave fantastic reviews on the Apple Podcast app /iTunes. It really means a lot to me. I enjoy reading them. Also, this is a great place on the podcast app to tell me what your episodes have been your favorite, what guests have been your favorite, what guests you'd like to come back on. And if you guys left reviews on the podcast app, again, like I said, it would mean a lot to me. That's an opportunity for you to kind of vocalize how you feel and what you want to see more of, guests you like, and all of that stuff, because I definitely do read them when I have bad days and I don't book auditions. I won't name drop the one I didn't just book because everyone watches it. So fun. So yeah, guys, leave us some reviews on the Apple Podcast app. 5 stars only, like an Uber. And now back to the episode. Okay, guys, we are back from the break, and we're going to hop into more calls.
Hi, Megan. I'm 18 years old, and I'm going to be attending college in less than a month. So at the orientation for the college that I'm going to, it happens in early June, and I met this boy who is going to be roommates with another one of my incredibly close gay guy friends, and we all just met up at orientation and hung out all day, and honestly, I kind of fell for him, which is surprising because he's totally not my type, but I've never met anyone like him. He is so different. He is literally the funniest person I've ever met, and, like, I'm just so attracted to him. So he lives about 4 hours away from me and the college I'm going to, but we've been talking, like, every single day since orientation. And about a week ago, he made me a playlist with the songs that he said reminded me of him, and the title of the playlist was literally For You, and it made me feel really special. And he was talking about how he's going to make me dinner when he moves up here, and we already just had so many dates planned out for when he finally moves in. So, needless to say, I'm in love with him. I've totally fallen for him. But randomly, after making me that playlist, he said, we're just going to be platonic friends. He sent me a text saying that. And keep in mind, this is after he's, like, openly flirted with me and said he wants to be serious with me, and he's literally sent me nudes. And he randomly just brought up the name of this other girl, and he told me that he's in love with her, and so he has to be loyal to her. And he kind of just ghosted me, and we haven't texted in probably about a week now. And I don't know if this girl's going to our college, but I can't help but just compare myself to her. Like, he told me her name, and so I can, like, look her up on Instagram, and she's prettier than me, so I just am feeling really bad about myself. But, yeah. And also, on Apple Music, I can see that he shared that For Her playlist, or For You playlist with her as well. So I just am feeling really bad about myself. And I'm just wondering if you think I should cut this guy off or just let myself get hurt, because I swear I've never met anyone as amazing as him. But also, he's rooming with my friend, and we're in the same major, so it's really going to be hard to avoid him.
I want to know where she lives and how many terrible guys she's come across that just aren't funny, that makes this guy so amazing, despite the fact that he sent her the same playlist as he sent another girl.
Yeah, cut this guy off.
But, like, why
cut him off?
But why is he so amazing? Like, what is...
He's not amazing.
No,
he's a piece of shit.
Terrible.
He's a piece of shit.
God.
He's a piece of shit. Like, you don't want to win him.
No.
He's not a good prize to win. He's a bad prize.
Yeah, no,
like,
that is...
You're going into college where there will literally be thousands of people.
So many.
This guy, you're 18. You haven't met that many people. This guy's not that great. I promise you. He's probably shitty.
He's clearly shitty because he's got another girl.
He's super shitty.
And he's telling, that's the thing. He's telling, like, if this isn't his girlfriend, or if it is his girlfriend, like, the biggest thing that, like, I wish I could fucking shake people will tell you their intentions.
Right.
And he's telling you point blank, but you're listening to the other things that are more favorable that you like more.
Right, exactly.
As opposed to this, when you're treating those as fact and you're treating this as maybe not fact.
Right.
This is also a fact. He's saying this, so 3 months down the road, when you're completely invested in him and you've slept together and you're asking for a relationship, he's like, no, I told you. I
don't want, yeah.
I thought you knew because I told you this. So then it becomes on you because you did something in spite of knowing that.
Yeah. It's not like, it's not worth it. He's sucks objectively as a person.
Yes.
And like to be like, oh, this is what I don't understand. And please be an ambassador to straight people for me.
I mean, not that great.
Here's my
I won't
question.
lie.
Are straight people okay? Because
No. Straight, I will say something. Straight white men are so not okay at all.
Yeah.
If-
But are straight couples okay? Because it seems to me like a lot of times it's girls who are like, I feel bad about myself. I want to be with this guy. Why doesn't he want to be with me? And he sucks. And the girl is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, but so like, she's like, I feel bad about myself comparing myself to this other girl. But like this guy is terrible.
Yes.
What you don't want, like you want him to want you.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you were together, he would treat you like shit.
Yeah.
So you want to be good enough for this person who is not good. Does that make sense?
Well, no, and I
feel like that's every straight girl I know is just like, I want to be good. Why aren't I good enough for this literal like sentient bag of potatoes to like me?
Genuinely exactly what it is. Because so as opposed to big dick energy, there is straight white male ego.
Yeah.
That is the most like, I like look at my straight white male friends and I'm like, if I had that confidence and that ego, and that's what that is. It's that difference in a relationship of, I mean, not to say that like, I mean, like I as a girl, I as a female, I'm like very insecure, but especially when I was younger and then you see a guy who you feel like you feel like you're in a rom-com and you're being plucked out of obscurity. And even if he's not cool and not cute and has a terrible personality, he has this confidence that only comes with like cis male privilege.
Confidence.
And that's what that is.
It's like this weird thing where you guys are supposed to be in this like plucked from obscurity thing. And then it's that she doesn't know she's beautiful.
Yeah, take her glasses off.
And then some guy is going to come and be like, here's a magical playlist for you.
Yeah.
I've chosen you out of everyone. But it's like my female friends are like gorgeous, like put all this effort into how they look, like so smart, like accomplished, like have amazing, jobs or accomplishments. And then they're like, why won't my unemployed, like literal garbage bag with legs boyfriend propose to me?
Yeah.
And it's like, but what? Like what?
It's like the weirdest cycle in the world. And it's a thing. It's a total thing.
Yeah. You don't want him. You just are sad that he didn't want you. But like you're 18. Again, you're 18. You're never going to be more beautiful than you are right now.
You might be.
You should be dating 60 dudes and you should be leaving them all on red. Like you should not, you know what I mean?
Yes. Like also coming from somebody who dated someone she met at college orientation did not work out well.
No.
10 out of 10 would not recommend that.
No, my college girlfriend I met during orientation, but it was like
it's the first car you see. You first don't drive that off the lot.
You got to test drive.
You got to test drive them all.
Exactly.
And also, I'm just going to put this out there. I'm going to, for all of you hopeless romantics, I don't relate to you at all, which you might have seen in my face when she was talking about the dates and stuff. If any guy is telling you things that sounds like it's too good to be true and he makes you a playlist and everything just feels out of a movie, it's fake.
Yes.
That is not genuine at all, especially if you don't know the guy, because a real true guy who's looking for a really great relationship is going to guard his emotions and read you. And he's not going to just go above and beyond. Like, I love you. I'm
Do you
so
know what it's
into
called?
you.
Okay. So it's an abuse. No, it's an abuse tactic and it's called love bombing.
Oh.
And it's what an abusive person does where they shower you with love. I've experienced this.
Yeah, that sounds
shower you with
familiar.
love. So romantic. Dozen roses, helicopter ride, fucking The Bachelor experience. Like literally like you're perfect, you're amazing, you're wonderful, you can do no wrong. Then like 3 weeks later, they're like, why did you think we were dating?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
And then they own you.
Yeah.
And then they own you forever.
They lure you in with like a false sense of security, like these gestures and these things mean that.
And then you are gaslit. You feel like, oh, you're right. They never said that we were dating.
Yeah.
So I was with someone for such a long time who like love bomb. And then I was like, oh, so we're together. And then he was like, what? I'm seeing like 15 other people. Why would we be together?
And you're like, oh, okay. I guess actions don't speak louder than words.
Right. Or like, what are you getting out of this?
Yeah.
And then it's like
the adoration.
Allison always says if a guy is overly romantic towards you, then he's that way towards everyone.
Exactly. That's exactly
what
I
he
think.
does to every girl.
And so the fact that as soon as you said the playlist, I was like, he sent this playlist to somebody else.
Also,
like, he probably did not make it for her.
Yeah,
to
for
begin
you.
with.
It doesn't even say your name.
Yeah. It's just like a standard, typical douchey guy move, which this to me just screams small dick energy.
Correct.
A guy who maybe wasn't super cute when he grew up in like middle school, high school, and then got cute last year of high school. But everyone from high school was like, no, I still think of like Jerry as the guy with like, who like wore Tevas with socks. And then he goes to college and he gets this like hot guy ego. And then he's like, let me take everything all at once.
Right.
And he's throwing out all of these like false romantic gestures that he sees from movies that nobody who's been in a real serious relationship would ever do that because they're going to guard their heart.
I also think if you're 18-year-old boy and your only idea of romance is from movies, then you kind of think this is how I have to behave, even if I'm not that into the girl.
Totally. Like this is the steps that
let's take this guy's side for 1 second. I'm sure he thinks if you are interested in a girl, you have to go above and beyond because there's no movie in like, and then we dated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then we broke up, but it was fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you're 18, it's like Romeo and Juliet, we're fucking crazy in love and everything is insane or nothing.
Yeah. No, and that does make sense. I just think like the idea of you being like, should I just commit to getting hurt? I think there's so much things of like life lessons that you're going to get hurt, but there needs to be something you actually benefit from. And like
date someone older, let them pay for everything.
Yeah. but like you're gonna get hurt regardless. Like this isn't like, let me speed up this life lesson and get hurt now in a heartbreak and then I'm gonna meet my husband next. Like you're gonna go through so many heartbreaks. There are ones that you should avoid. There are unavoidable heartbreaks and there's like clear signs that you're walking into like a garbage pit. Like don't fucking do it. Like
get rid of this dude.
Yeah. And it's
also
too soon.
let me give you some advice from my life experience. He sent those nudes to everybody.
They might not even be his.
Recycled nudes, baby.
They might not even be his.
Yeah,
but they are definitely recycled nudes.
For sure.
Everything that you've been like, everything that you think about him is not him. Like this, like he's great, and he's like no guy you've ever, any other guy you've met. That is an act. That is a performance he's doing to everyone.
Guys.
Literally, you met 4 guys.
You've met 4 guys,
and one of them is gay, and your best friend.
Like chill out.
Yeah, no. There are so many other great people, and also not to like throw the
make him hold that day's newspaper in the news,
like right above his dick,
proof of life, like it's a kid, like a kidnapping.
Yes, that's what you need.
That's all. That's the only way I accept nudes now is if it has that day's date and your name.
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah, I love that.
I won't trust nobody.
Right, and he had to take the extra effort because who gets newspapers delivered anymore?
Exactly. You have to go and buy one. You have to find one.
No, he has to write like it's a Reddit AMA. Like his name, the date, his handle, hold it up, your name.
Yes. Yeah. And we need like full focused everything. I need to see everything clear. I love it. I would say also there's not to pull like the college reputation thing in with this, but I wish I hadn't jumped into a relationship immediately in college because then after we broke up, it was like everybody was like, "Oh, I thought you were still with this person." Like, it became like I was known as this guy's girlfriend,
rather than being known as yourself and starting over in school and being known as yourself,
and like making my own friends, not just making his friends. Then we broke up, and then I'm like, "Fuck, I have not really any of my own friends, and like nobody knows me for anything except this guy's ex-girlfriend."
Yes.
So yeah, I would. And then you're also the reason why he's so great is because you can't see the contradictions he's probably going to make in person or see him doing this to other girls. You're only seeing him like talking to him over text message. The second you get to school and you see that he's a total sleazeball and that he's doing this to everybody, you're not going to like him. Okay, on to the next call.
I'm 23 and I wanted an unbiased opinion about my relationship. So I'm engaged. And we've been engaged for almost a year now, but uncanon, we've been trying for a baby, and I know it's like a little more of a mature subject than you're used to like receiving, but we've been trying for a baby and we've had no luck. So we've actually gone to like fertility doctors, well, the beginning of it anyway, and this is where the issue comes in, is that I'm going through more fertility doctors because I'm a woman. I have more steps and processes than him, where he has, an afternoon and then a reading of his results. And the problem is that he's procrastinated it because I don't think he wants to receive the bad news. if it is his side that's not letting us have a kid. I've tried to talk to him about it, but he just seems to kind of, oh yeah, I'll book it and I'll get to it when I can, but then just kind of blows it off. So is it like my part to nag him, or should I just kind of go with the flow and deal with my stuff, and then once my stuff's done, push him a little bit more, or should I just leave it entirely?
Well, there's a lot of masculinity at play, right? Like, he doesn't want to find out if he's shooting blanks. He doesn't want to find out because he thinks it means something about his.
He's like less of a man.
Masculinity, which it really.
But are they trying? How long have they been trying?
Yeah, it really doesn't mean anything. Thing is, if you take care of yourself, you deal with your own stuff on this side, and then if it turns out that you're actually able to have a child and it's on, and then you'll pretty much know on his end. But you do want like the medical diagnosis or whatever. But he needs to not, like, this is a group effort. He needs to not take it personally.
What if he doesn't want a kid right now?
Well, yeah, that's the real thing.
That's what I'm like. I think that you got to have like, that's like a hard conversation to have with somebody.
Yeah, like, do you not want to have a kid, or are you nervous that you are unable to have a kid?
Yeah. And also, like, do you not want to have a kid right now? Like, because it also can be one of those things, like, how long did they say they were dating?
A year and a half. They've been engaged for a year and a half.
But I think also, like, a lot of the time when you, at least like when I was younger, like, I had a totally skewed idea of where my life would be at 25. Now that I'm older and in a relationship, I've like those expectations I've had, I've changed them. I've been like, oh no, I don't want this at this age now. But I wonder, are you holding on to these things that you wanted regardless of the fact that like maybe your partner isn't ready for that yet?
Yeah.
Or maybe he thought he was ready and he changed his mind and he's scared to be like, I'm just not really ready to have a kid right now, and I want to enjoy being like, I want to get married and enjoy being married.
Yeah, where's the fire?
Yeah.
Why are you're not married yet?
No, also, don't you want to have a
little time with each other and like a wedding?
Do you know how hard it is to get sized for a wedding dress when you're pregnant?
Yeah.
Like, you're not married yet. Like, get married. Don't have to. The alterations are so expensive.
Right.
And I know a girl who got married when she was she got married. She was engaged, had her wedding dress, got pregnant, and was pregnant while they were like literally spent so much fucking money on alterations every 2 months.
Yeah. I had friends that I'm not sure what, I never really asked what the rush was, but I don't really like have time together. Like you make it about yourselves, like make the wedding about yourselves.
Yeah. And also you've been engaged for a year and a half. Maybe put this effort that you're putting into trying to have kids right now into planning a wedding and like having a wedding, and or even just getting married. If you don't want to have a big wedding, just get married. Because I would say
spend time with each other.
Yeah, and
like you don't know what's going on with him. Maybe you're right. Maybe he doesn't really want to have a kid right now. Maybe even if he does want to have a kid, even if it's the truth, and he is very scared of finding out that he can't have children, that's your partner. You love him. Like that's a real fear.
And maybe that's a fear too, because you're not married yet. And this is something that you really want. And what if he's like, well, fuck, what if I can't have kids and she's not going to want it?
Yeah. Right. Like it's not just about hitting the benchmarks and the goals, because he's a person as well.
No,
so like,
totally.
I think sometimes I see women, friends of mine, they get a guy, they have the guy. They're like, great, I have the guy. And then they run towards all the goals. But like, then the guy is not even humanized to them.
No, he doesn't have
he doesn't have a choice. He doesn't have he's like, check in with him. If he is scared, I understand that it's like damaging your timeline.
Yeah.
But if he is scared, that's your partner and he's your friend.
Yeah.
Like you love him. Like if he's scared, like that's legitimate. Like it's not like his fear isn't like ruining my timeline of like engaged, married, pregnant. Like he might have a different timeline, or he might like you make him feel better.
Yeah.
You know
and also a spooked guy is probably not going to be the best dad to a baby either.
Yeah.
Like you guys both need to be ready. And I would also say, I think if you are older, like he needs to be, until you have a kid, your partner should be your priority.
That's
and right
what I'm
now
saying.
It feels like the non-existent baby is a priority over him.
Yeah.
And that if I were him, I also probably would be like holding off having a kid to be like, I need more attention. Like, hi, what happened to me? Weren't we excited about us and getting married and engaged? And I'd also say too, you're both so incredibly young that the chance that you're like the most fertile you'll ever be for the next couple years. So it's not like you're running out of time to do that. So I think like that to me it just seems like you're skipping. I understand wanting to be a young parent and all of that.
Yeah, sometimes a lot of people want to grow, like don't want to be too old when they have kids.
And I totally get that. But I think especially going to like fertility doctors and doing all of this stuff, like that's something that unless you've been trying for like years like you're so incredibly young. It's really just that to me just sounds like you're putting the focus on that as opposed to like the relationship you already have. And that needs to be a priority, and just talk to him about it, because either he does, there's two things.
And make sure you're not talking to him and being like, why are you holding me up?
No,
like,
not at all.
Talk to him.
Check in like on your relationship.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you both okay? You know?
And also, what if the same thing, if this was you, like if you were the one with fertility issues and he wanted a kid so bad, and then what if he's
Wouldn't
like,
you be scared?
Yeah, you'd be terrified. And also if you're with somebody who prioritizes having their own, like conceiving and carrying their own like child so much, and if you couldn't do that, wouldn't you also fear that maybe he would walk away if that was his number one priority? I think if you have that conversation, you can then still tell him, be like, you know what, I'm totally with you on that, but like we've already started to go to a fertility doctor. I'd love to just check in to know when we want to have a family, if we're okay.
And be like, I'm not leaving because of this.
No, yeah. And make him feel supported like that, because that's just, it's a lot. And also, I just want to know why you're not married yet, you know? Like, what's the
rush? Where's
the hold up? Yeah, what's the rush? Like, why aren't you married yet?
Yeah.
And so why are you trying to check all these like
boxes?
Yeah. If you're not married yet,
Some
why are you
people
trying?
have different priorities. I always feel like
But then why would you get engaged? You know?
I don't know.
Like, either have a baby. I
forget that people like that's not that young in some parts of the country, and that like people have, you know, they're like, oh my God, well, I have to check all these boxes before I'm 25 or else I'm like just useless to the world, which is bizarre. Cause I think there's like, I don't know if it's just cause we're like LA coastal elites that we're like, what? You could have 35. It's fine. You know
it's the craziest thing. My boyfriend and I, have been together since I was, we've been together for like 3 years, and I'm 25 now. The amount of tweets from people, and now the amount of like older adult friends who are being like, so even my dad will be like, so when's he putting a ring on it? And I'm like, what? I'm sorry. That doesn't happen till you're 30 over here. Like, what? And it's like, it's so odd to me that people would think that that's something where I'm like, in my mind, if we got engaged, I feel like every comment would be like, oh my God, you're too young. Why would you get engaged? That's my response. But it's not like that in everywhere, like everywhere at all, which is so it blows
I think
my
they're
mind.
putting the pressure on timeline versus age, which is interesting. Like we don't know how long they've been together. But like my sister has two friends who've been together since high school, and they just got married. And so technically they've been together for 10 years. They're 25. They've been together for 10 years. If I've been with someone for 10 years, it's like, okay, probably you'll get married. But then in reality, I'm like, you're 25 though.
Yeah, it's lifestyle. For me, it's so much more about my lifestyle when I feel comfortable doing anything. It's not about like, my age doesn't determine how mature or ready I feel for anything.
Right.
It's just like where my life is at that point.
Yeah. And those two, I'm like, yeah, they should probably get married. They're like a weird Corey and Topanga situation. But like,
I almost did it for my 8th birthday. That was the only thing. I think a couple years in a row for my birthday, the only thing I asked was to legally change my name to Topanga.
Wow.
Didn't happen, but that's all I wanted. She sounds like she's probably a Cancer or a Pisces.
A Pisces. Yeah.
Yeah. I bet you're a Pisces.
Or a Taurus, because she's trying to like micromanage everything.
Oh, that could be true.
Let us know.
Let us know. Yeah, please do.
Do we have more questions?
We've got Producer's Corner now.
What's that?
Ooh. Wow, good question. You want to take it away? You want to explain?
Sure. Producer's Corner is where I pick either like my favorite call of the week. It could be a callback of somebody updating us on their information, or someone else calling back with counter advice to what we did. So this week we have someone with counter advice. So this is from the episode with Lee Newton, and
a juicy one.
This caller is calling about the girl who her boyfriend thought that they would end up together later, but he wants to go out and figure out himself and date
so
other
is
guys.
Wild Oats.
Yes.
Sure.
Hi, Megan. I was just wanting to, I guess, give some counter advice to some advice that I've heard on the podcast. This is mostly inspired by the episode with Lee Newton, where you were talking to the girl whose boyfriend was, like, I guess, feeling kind of stuck in their relationship, or feeling like, you know, he was worried that he hadn't been with anyone else. So I guess I just wanted to say to that girl and a bunch of others, ethical non-monogamy is a thing. Monogamous relationships aren't the only way to have relationships. Exploring outside of your relationship with other people and, you know, making connections with others, whether they're emotional or physical or both, is a wonderful thing that can happen. Obviously, it's not for everybody. It takes a lot of communication and trust. And, you know, of course, there's going to be feelings of jealousy, but those are easy to manage. But I guess, I don't know, I just wanted to put out there that being with only one partner isn't the only way to do it. So I just encourage everybody to keep an open mind, do research. Shan Boodram on YouTube has a lot of really amazing videos about open relationships, and I think it's worth looking into for a lot of people, because there are many, many ways to love. Just monogamy isn't the only way.
I'm non-monogamous. I don't think I've been in a monogamous relationship, like fully monogamous, in a decade, maybe. But it is like, it's not for everybody. And it does take like a lot of talking about stuff and also not being selfish. It takes a lot of not being selfish.
It also takes two willing participants. Like,
yes, two
willing
people
participants who are both on the same page with
and
it.
that you're not doing it to get away with something, or you're not doing it to be
or to prove a point.
Prove a point, and you're not doing it to like you have to be able to not try to take advantage of stuff. Like my girlfriend and I were somewhere, and I was interested in someone, and I was like, I'm gonna go make out with this person. She was like, great. I went and made out with them. And then my girlfriend, trying to be like supportive, was like, oh, you should go home with them. And I was like, no, I don't need to. And she was like, you're like, yeah, like I'm cool. Like, go home. And I could tell that she was not cool.
Yeah.
And if I was like if I was like more selfish, or if I was like using it to take advantage or whatever, I would have been like, peace.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm fine. This is not do or die. There is no situation in which like it is worth hurting your feelings.
Totally.
So I was like, so we went home, and then the next day she was like, I'm glad you didn't go home with them. And I was like, of course you are. Like I could tell. Like it's a lot of like reading your partner, and also like you can take them at their word, but you also a little bit have to be like, it's not all about me.
No, yeah.
And that's hard to get to that place.
Yeah. And I think like also it's just, I think it's worth anybody who's like interested in that talking about that. And I think like I've had friends who've like asked me my opinions on this because they've been with, I've had friends who've been in open relationships that were more along the lines of being like, we're just going to break up, but we're going to like slowly break up, versus like, am I wrong in the sense that like, do you feel like there's a difference between the term open relationship and non-monogamous relationship?
Sort of. It depends. I mean, it's all different. Like I used to identify as polyamorous. I don't know that that is the case anymore. I've had boyfriends and girlfriends at the same time, or two boyfriends or two girlfriends, whatever. But now I feel like time management wise, I just like can't make that work. But so I've like shifted more towards non-monogamy or open relationship, but it depends. Like some people are in open relationships where they don't tell each other anything. Yeah. I don't understand that.
Yeah. My friend did that.
And I don't understand that. That would drive me insane.
It was a segue for them to break up, and they both knew it. They just didn't.
That would drive me crazy.
They didn't want to give up on something until they knew there were other things out there. And they both were kind of okay with it. But I've also had friends who've talked to me about like, as a girl being like, what are your opinions on this? And I'm like, I think you, and what I've always told them, I was like, it's the same thing of being like, you can't, if you want to introduce this into your relationship with whoever you're dating, it probably should have been something that you might have, this shouldn't be sparked from the fact that you are just like wanting to, like, you're just like not that into your partner anymore.
Yeah.
Like it has to come from that place.
The thing that people don't understand is that it has to be about you and your partner. So like anytime that it's been that I've done non-monogamy with people, it's about us. It's about like, so that's why not talking about it doesn't make sense a lot to me, but like, it's been about like, oh, how did your date go? Tell me about it. Or like, I'm prioritized, or like my girlfriend is prioritized over this person I'm going to make out with. Or like, you know, like compersion instead of jealousy, where compersion is when instead of being jealous, you're happy that they're sleeping with someone else. Or you're happy to hear about it, or or it informs your sex life. So like I've dated people where like they go off and fuck someone, or I go off and fuck someone, and then we talk about it, and then that makes us fuck each other. Like there's like elements of it where it has to be about you guys at the end, at the core.
And it's
like,
not the unknown. It's not you thinking about like what potentially could have happened and all of that stuff.
Or they have met each other, or like we've gone out to dinner, the three of us, or like, and they're not necessarily interested in each other. I've had situations where like my boyfriend and I had a girlfriend and we were both seeing her, or I had a girlfriend and a boyfriend and they were friends, but they didn't hook up with each other, or like, you know, it's like all different kinds of situations, and it's just very individualized. But it's never, I don't like the type of non-monogamy where you don't tell each other.
No,
I always like it kind of to be like a big discussion. But I also, you can't just, if your partner's like, hey, I don't want you to hook up with this one person, can you not? Like, or like, I don't trust this person, or I don't feel respected by this person. Can you not? Like, then you have to,
because your partner is still your priority.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think there's relationship anarchy where you're dating multiple people and it's everyone's kind of on a level playing field. A lot of what I do is like primary partner, secondary partner, or two primary partners, or whatever. But there's different, like all different ways to do it. You can read a book called The Ethical Slut. That's like a really good book about non-monogamy. It's catchy, right?
Yeah, I like that.
But basically, like, yeah, it's just, in my mind, it always comes back to, it has to be about something cool and fun and like that you and your partner are doing together.
That
it
you're
has
both
to be,
into.
yeah, it has to be about you both.
Well, that's like my fear though, is the caller, it was her boyfriend wanting to not be with someone for the rest of forever. And or like not wanting to settle down with like the first girl that he had like all of his like first things with. And that's my fear though too, though. Like if she, as much as like I'm fully totally in favor of everybody doing what they want sexually, I just don't want her or anybody to be like, I feel like I'm losing somebody. Let me give you the free reign to have sex with other people, because that means I won't lose you. And ultimately, if you're compromising what your comfortability for anything, it's never going to end up well.
Yeah. And you don't have to. If you have a partner who wants to be with other people and you're okay with that, but you don't feel like, well, if he's out doing something, I should be doing something. Read, catch up on TV.
All the shows he hates.
There's been times where I like my partner's like gone out and been like, I'm going to go like hook up with someone. And I've been like, amazing. It's spa night for me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's sometimes also
it's
like
not a competition.
No. And sometimes like it's been taken the pressure off, like where I'm like, look, I'm super busy for the next month. Like I can't see you as much as you would want to see me. Why don't you get that old fuck buddy back on the line? You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of different ways, but I also think like it's hard to introduce someone to it who isn't naturally inclined to it.
Yeah. Well, that's it for our episode.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you for being on it. You were so great. Come back.
Okay.
I wonder what it would be like if you and Allison were on at the same time.
We disagree on everything.
I know. That's what I'm kind of curious.
She says I don't have enough red flags. That I'm sort of just like, whatever.
She was very decisive about everything.
Yep.
Very decisive.
That's what our channel is like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know me. Big fan. Well, where can people find you on the internet? Or not on the internet?
Sure. I'm at Gaby Road on Instagram.
No longer on Twitter.
No longer on Twitter. And then I have a podcast called Bad with Money, which is out now. There's 3 seasons. And then Bad with Money is about to be a book, and that's available for pre-order. And the Bad with Money book comes out in January. But pre-order it now, please, so that my publisher likes me. And that's like a financial book, but it's not yelling at you. It's not... It's not condescending. It's a financial book for the rest of us.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, now we can both promo our books because your book comes out in January. My book comes out in February.
Hey,
right? I
what's your book
today.
called?
It's called You're Not Special. Well, I'm going to pre-order your book.
Thanks. I'll pre-order your book.
Thanks.
Although you seem real scared for people to read it.
I'm really scared for people to read it.
Okay.
It's just too personal. I fucked up in that. I mean, but you should read books. Pre-order our books.
Pre-order our books.
And you can check out Melissa and our socials are in the description as always.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys have shit in your life that you need some advice on, give us a call at 310-694-0976. And if you're an international listener, send us an email with an audio file at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. And if you haven't watched the episode, watch it on YouTube. And if you haven't listened to it on iTunes, SoundCloud, or go to don'tblameme.show to listen to the podcast. Subscribe there. Leave us a review. And yeah, guys, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Don't Blame Me is a production by me, produced, directed, and edited by Melissa DeMont. Post-production sound by Chris Henry, production assistant Julie Carley, and music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter. I'll see you guys next week, and don't blame me if your life, completely fucks up before then. Oh.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Laureau, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth. Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, are you ready for some real talk and some fantastic laughs? Join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
We're serving up 4 hilarious shows every week designed to entertain and engage and, possibly enrage you.
In Don't Blame Me, we dive deep into listeners' questions, offering advice that's funny, relatable, and real.
Whether you're dealing with relationship drama or you just need a friend's perspective, we've got you.
Then switch gears with But Am I Wrong, which is for listeners who didn't take our advice and want to know if they are the villains in the situation.
Plus, we share our hot takes on current events and present situations that we might even be wrong in our lives. Spoiler alert, we are actually quite literally never wrong.
But wait, there's more. Check out See You Next Tuesday, where we reveal the juicy results from our listener polls from But Am I Wrong?
And don't miss Fisting Friday, where we catch up, chat about pop culture, TV, and movies. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend.
So if you're looking for a podcast that feels like a chat with your besties, listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.